No, they ain't ready for the LSU, huh? They ain't ready for the LSU. No, they ain't ready for the LSU. We the best in the league if you looking for talent. LSU going hard, but we beat Alabama, then we going out to Florida. Drown the Gators, everybody getting bucked when we step in the stadium. This the LSU anthem, you know it's a hit. You don't know another rapper two-step like this. See me screaming out the window, yelling purple and gold. I'm an LSU fan, girl, you know how we roll now. Back and back it on up. Hey, 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 way down in the back.
T.A.
Let's
We
go.
are live in the avenue. Zach,
Is there any news to talk about today?
anything you'd like to discuss? I don't know. It hasn't been much recently.
Nah.
Not too much. Wow. I don't think we can fit everything that needs to be discussed within this hour show.
Absolutely. That's why this first segment is going to be extremely brief.
Extremely brief.
LSU lost to Oklahoma.
LSU lost to Oklahoma. They played them closer than we thought.
Valiant effort.
Hey, if you're a betting person and you took our advice, you probably won some money. Bet the under.
Bet the under.
Bet the under. Because guess what? They scored a total of 20 points combined. Excuse me, 30. I'm sorry, bad math. 30. But the over-under was 38, and we all knew it was going to be.
Yeah, that was the easiest money in the world.
Easiest money you made if you bet the under.
Zach,
Santa brought me something for Christmas. I don't know if you can see behind me, but
I see it.
Santa has brought me the Lane train.
Yeah.
And I could not be more excited. So, obviously, LSU, Oklahoma. Obviously, we're going to spend the absolute majority of this show discussing what we told you last show would inevitably come to pass. We told you you probably will like the news, but boy, did it play out. Man, way different than
a little bit.
Could have ever imagined. And LSU hoops playing some good ball, Zach, and we'll briefly discuss that at the very end as well. Playing some good ball on both. LSU, Oklahoma, yes, Zach. LSU lost, had an opportunity to win this game, should have won this game.
Yep.
Your defense kept you in this game. Shocker. Every single person, I think, owes Garrett Nussmeier an apology.
No.
Everybody owes Garrett Nussmeier an apology. Michael Van Buren did not solve our problems at all. Your offensive line's bad. Your backup quarterback's not that great either.
No.
And it was the same story as every other game this year, Zach. Your defense kept you in it. Your offense could not do enough to capitalize on what your defense continually did. Your defense got you 3 interceptions. You capitalized off 1. And that's the story of the game. At the late in the fourth quarter, you had 1 blown coverage, and that was it. That was the ball game. You tried and failed to cap off a game-winning drive, and the ending score was 13-17. Zach, there's one point in this game that I really, really, really want to focus on, because had your offense capitalized, you would have won this game. The very first drive,
oh God,
that Oklahoma was on the field, Harold Perkins gets you an interception and takes it to like the 4 yard line.
It was at that moment he knew he messed up.
You really, really wish that Harold Perkins would have punched that ball in. It's not his fault. It's the offense's fault because the very next play, Michael Van Buren threw
A pick?
an interception. So, yes, a pick. So
that was so bad.
It really stunk. And the truth is, he really could have ran to the pylon, scored a touchdown, and you could have won that game. You could have capitalized on 2 turnovers and won this game, but you didn't, and you lost. And that was the story of this entire season. Not a single time, not one single time against an FBS opponent did you score more than 25 points.
Absolutely awful. Just
an abysmal offensive year. But boy, oh boy, is that going to change very quickly. It will change very swiftly because you just got probably the best offensive mind in college football. He probably is the best. So that was Zach. That was LSU Oklahoma. That's your very brief LSU Oklahoma recap. Hey, proud of them. Played it closer than I thought, but you lost. Moving on to the bowl game. We'll see what it is. Frank Wilson will coach it. Now, what you're really here for, which is LSU's new head football coach, Lane Kiffin, is now the Fighting Tigers head coach. And, Zach, it just feels so darn good.
It does.
Has been a dream of ours privately in conversations between you and I and one other LSU friend of ours, and our sentiment that we have wanted Lane Kiffin as our head coach since Ed Orgeron was fired. And I want to go ahead and say right here, right now, I could care less about how things transpired. Sure, I have my thoughts. I have my opinions. We'll give them. But more importantly, I am above all things thrilled and excited that LSU pulled off a massive A+++ hire. It was the best hire you could have made outside of Kirby Smart and Dan Lanning and Ryan Day. This was the best, most reasonable, most realistic hire. It was the best.
Yeah.
And you nailed it. And I want to say from the jump, when we fired Brian Kelly and all that transpired after firing Brian Kelly and the fallout with Scott Woodward and the governor and all the garbage that happened with Fire for Cause and blah, 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 all of the garbage, LSU got themselves aligned with President Wade Roos and the absolute right man for the job, Verge Osbury, who played for the Tigers, who has been a staff member in LSU's athletic department for 30 years or more, was named the athletic director, and he said in the press conference that we all thought was very odd. And I'm not going to lie, it was a weird press conference. It was weird. You normally don't do things like that. But Verge Osbury said, my task has been given to hire the best coach in America, and he did it. He delivered on what he said. He did exactly what he said he was going to do, and he did it with flawlessness. He kept lips sealed.
Yep.
He had tact. When everything before, Zach, was a disaster, it was a PR nightmare, and everything was on public display. Everybody kept running their mouth and kept saying things that kept making LSU look bad. When things finally got together with Wade Roos and with athletic director Osbury, and everything finally focused on the coaching search, boom, everyone went silent. and they got to work. And it was an excellent plan, and they nailed it.
Yeah.
They absolutely nailed it. So, Zach, we've got to give our flowers to Verge Osbury and this search committee and Wade Roos and all of them for getting this thing aligned and getting this done, because it looked like you were going to have to settle. It looked like you were going to have to settle for a coordinator, a rising G5 coach, maybe promote from within because it was such a disaster. But you righted the ship and you landed the big fish. This will go down as one of the best hiring processes in LSU history. I mean, you nailed it. You named your top target.
Yeah, that's right.
You named and identified your top target, and you went and you got it. And here's the reality: you really didn't have a second choice. There wasn't
you had to hit. You had to hit.
You had to hit, and you did. So kudos to Osbury. Before we get into all of that transpired, Zach, and everything that unfolded, because it was a spectacle. It was an ordeal. Verge deserves our respect in this whole process. In riding what looked to be a disaster, he got it right, and LSU has landed their coach and bright future, good times ahead for LSU football. There's many, many victories ahead of us with Lane Kiffin at the helm of things. Zach, your initial thoughts on this hire and your feelings, and then maybe we can transition after that into talking about how this all unfolded.
Well, I am so excited right now that as I currently am speaking, I am getting together some exciting new merch that hopefully we'll release later tonight. So if I seem distracted, it's because I'm putting together something really awesome, hopefully for our fans and all LSU fans alike. I'm looking forward to releasing this. But
yes,
it's a home run hire, Reagan. And I told you this on text the other day. When we first discussed who we thought would be the head coach, right? We gave our way too early predictions.
We did.
Okay? And we released it. And, of course, we went out there on social media and we had, Reagan says Lane Kiffin and Zach says Eli Drinkwitz. But everybody should know that watched that episode that we both wanted to go with Lane Kiffin.
Yes.
I only went a different route because Reagan chose Lane Kiffin. So to be different.
For the sake of being different.
For the sake of being different, for the sake of not being repetitive. That's why I put Eli Drinkwitz. But initially, yes, it was going to be Lane Kiffin.
The desire in the prediction was Lane Kiffin.
The desire in the prediction was Lane Kiffin all the way.
Yes.
And ultimately, that's what happened. And I'm thrilled, Reagan. As you said, this has been a long time coming. It's something that we discussed, again, all the way back to Ed Orgeron. It's something that was discussed whenever they were after Ed Orgeron had been fired and they were searching for their next head coach. Obviously landed with Brian Kelly, but we know, we tossed around Lane Kiffin's name a lot during that coaching search. And unfortunately, it seemed like at the time that Scott Woodward was trying to make a quote unquote clean hire. And at the time, because of all of the debacle that you had with O,
and with other lawsuits going on.
Yeah, just all
Les Miles and
everything that was going on.
Will Wade and
yes, you wanted to make a clean hire, and obviously Lane has in the past had the issues that he's had, and boy oh boy, I guess he's somewhat added to that this go around because let me tell you something, Reagan. There is a lot of very upset and salty Ole Miss fans, and I can't say that I blame them. I don't. If you're an Ole Miss fan and you're in here, you're watching. I don't blame you. I don't blame you
one bit.
I would be upset. There's a few things that I disagree with that I think me and Reagan can discuss.
Yes.
as far as the opinions that have been taken, the stances that have been taken
Absolutely.
against Lane. But overall, Reagan, it's a home run hire. I mean, if you were to give it a grade, I'd give it an A. I don't know if I'd quite give it an A plus, but I mean, if it's not an A plus, it's an A, Reagan. It's not an A minus. It's a great hire, and obviously, there's a lot of talk about retaining some of the staff that's currently at LSU, and a big part of that is going to be, do you retain Blake Baker? Because if you can combine the offensive mind of Lane Kiffin,
yes,
who everywhere he goes, the offenses are phenomenal.
Yep.
Reagan, I don't know if you saw the tweet from Glenn West earlier. Let me pull this up for you. Do you know what tweet I'm talking about?
I don't know if I do.
Okay, let me pull this up for you. Glenn West tweeted this earlier. I might have to find it a little bit, but it was basically each offense, the year that Lane took over, in their first year that Lane took over, what they averaged per game.
Like yards per game?
Yards per game. Yards per game average the very first year that Lane took over. Okay, you ready? USC in 2010, their average yards per game in the very first year that Lane took over, 431.5 yards per game. Alabama, when we went to Alabama as the OC in 2014, their average yards per game was 484.5 yards per game.
Wow.
All right, when he took over at FAU in 2017, his first year, they averaged 498.2 yards per game. They averaged almost 500 yards per game.
Good grief.
Which is, oh my gosh, insane. Ole Miss in 2020, you thought 498 was impressive? Ole Miss in 2020, his first year as head coach at Ole Miss, they averaged 555.9 yards per game.
My goodness. 550 plus?
550 plus in his first year.
Golly.
So each year that Lane Kiffin has taken over a program, they have been well above 400 plus yards a game per game. They have averaged well above that.
Wow.
So if you're able to retain Blake Baker, which I know obviously there's a lot of conversation out there right now about Blake, interviewing for the Tulane job this past Monday. Will he get it? Obviously, I think he is well deserving.
100%.
But I think LSU can easily match that.
Sounds like they're trying to.
I hope they do. It looks like they're going to. So, and they should, Reagan. They should.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You want to keep this entire defensive staff in place.
And it sounds like the sticking point is going to be, hey, look, instead of making this jump to Tulane right now, stay here with us and then make a Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning
P4.
Type of jump, right? Where you can go somewhere and be the head coach of a big name program. That's obviously bigger name than Tulane, right? I know Tulane right now is like on the cusp of potentially making the playoffs, but
and it's a great program. They've been really successful recently.
It's a good program. It is a good
alma mater. I would get it.
Yeah, but I would understand. But man, do you ever want him to stick around?
Please, Blake.
Because the thought of combining those two minds sounds very, very dangerous for LSU. And so absolutely, Reagan, love the hire. And I know there's a lot of opinions that we want to give, but before we do that, we have to go ahead and let's go ahead and add in. Dad has joined us tonight. How are you doing, T.A. Godfather?
The Lane train has come to town, baby. I am doing very well. Very well. I'm excited. I'm pumped. Whoop, whoop. The Lane Train.
Yeah.
He is rolled into Baton Rouge.
Yes, sir.
Go Tiger.
Dad, what do you make of these Ole Miss fans who, for the most part, from what I've seen, has been some really salty, angry, lashing out. At just the coach that brought them to where they are today, and just the coach that is what is he tied for the winningest winningest? He's not active anymore.
Yeah, he's tied. He's tied. If he would have one more, he'd be the
winningest coach, and it didn't matter because he wanted to go to LSU.
Well, all I want to say to these Ole Miss fans, forgive me, Lord.
Forgive me, Lord.
Forgive me, Lord.
Do you need a margarita with that salt you've been putting out there? Y'all so salty. Or maybe I just want to say, do you need a little cheese with your wine?
Oh, God.
Lord, I mean, it's been total drama queen mess out there. And I'm like,
it has been.
Listen, I get it. We were mad when Saban went to Bama, and
Sure.
It's understandable.
But at the end of the day, it's football. I mean, really, it's football. You got to learn to move on. I mean, we had to learn to move on when Saban went to Alabama and take our lumps. And hey, every now and then we got our, we got to punch in on him.
Got a little lick in, yeah.
Not much, not often, but
yeah, not much. But it really did get drug out way too long. And,
sure.
I hated that. I mean, really, they should have just sat down, a week, 10 days ago, and he should have said, I'm gonna go. I want to go.
Yep.
And I've got my terms with NIL because that seemed to be like the main thing that made his decision. And I think he should have just said, I want to coach the SEC championship if Bama doesn't win, or it plays out that we're in. I want to coach the playoffs. How can we do that? Let's sit down as men and work this out instead of drawing it out. And if Ole Miss wasn't ultimately going to do it, period, they should have made the decision. They should have announced it 10 days ago, 7 days ago.
Yep.
And I don't think Ole Miss fans would have been that salty.
Correct.
Maybe. I don't know.
And Dad, honestly, that's my opinion, and that's where I differ with Ole Miss fans. I think your frustration and anger absolutely should be in the fact that he left you for a rival. Anybody would be.
Right.
Yeah.
However, a lot of the frustration and lashing out is like, he's a scumbag. The way he left was wrong. And they're saying that 100% of it lays at the feet of Kiffin. And I just think that is totally blind and one-sided. And here's why. Number one, the situation is forced by the college football calendar, and this has been discussed plenty. This is nothing new. The college football calendar forced this Keith Carter and Lane Kiffin into this situation.
Yeah.
So it needs to be fixed. Number one, first and foremost.
And the pitch has been made by the godfather of all coaches.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, the pitch is there. Whether they change it or not, I don't know.
They should. It should change after this. Number one, Ole Miss fans, I don't think, are considering the calendar. Number two, they're not considering the role that Keith Carter played in this. You can act like Keith Carter is your hero and your savior all you want to.
Because he hired Pete Golding
you can act
last second.
You can do that all you want. But you're just pulling some confirmation bias because you're mad he's leaving you for LSU, and you want to put the blame all on Kiffin. The reality is, though, the calendar and Carter, and yes, I will agree, Kiffin all played a role in this being drug out. Here is my beef. Carter is the boss. He is Lane Kiffin's boss at Ole Miss. If you did not want this to drag out, you should not have let it drag out. You're the boss. Put your foot down,
Precisely.
draw the line, make him decide. Instead, we have first meeting. Look, here's the problem I have is there's a meeting after the Florida game. Rumors were swirling way before the Florida game. Way before the Florida game. Then you have your first meeting after the Florida game. When you came to the table after the Florida game and your fans are chanting, "We want Kiffin," and all of social media is buzzing that he's going to Florida, he's going to LSU, you should have come to the table and been like, we need answers now. Instead, you're like trying to feel him out, it seems like. Whatever. You have this meeting. Okay, we'll have another meeting, and then we'll get our decision. And Saturday, after the Egg Bowl, you go to the whole week, and it all becomes this team is leading. This team is leading. Ole Miss, maybe he's going to stay. Maybe this. And it gets all drummed up because you –
And who was the fourth team?
Nobody
knows.
Nobody knows. Maybe Penn State.
Penn State or Auburn, probably.
But then you go a whole nother week as media drums this up and decide you're going to have another meeting.
Emotional roller coaster.
Exactly. It's an emotional roller coaster. Then you win the Egg Bowl. Media is asking him all the questions before the game, after the game. When's the answer going to come? What's the answer? What's your feeling? Blah, blah, blah. And then Saturday comes and no answer is announced.
Yeah.
Keith Carter, you made a public statement as the athletic director of the Ole Miss Rebels that you will deliver an answer on Saturday, and you did not deliver. So Ole Miss fans who think Keith Carter played no role in this, you're fooling yourself. He's the boss. He set a deadline, and he did not meet his own deadline.
That's right.
And so I'm not saying Kiffin was perfect. I wish it would have been much smoother. I wish it would have been done earlier.
Yeah.
But Keith Carter was not perfect in this either. And the calendar forced both of them into this situation. So let's not act like Kiffin is the end-all, be-all for fault in this whole situation. So, again, Kiffin's not perfect in this whole situation. He could have done better, could have handled it better, but Carter could have as well. And ultimately, he's the boss. And you allowed your employee to string you along. And the truth of the matter is, Pete Golding was never a candidate for the head coaching job at Ole Miss until he missed out on everybody, and they had to put him at the podium. Does anybody remember when a certain specific team in 2017 rushed a assistant coach to the podium because they botched a hire? None other than your LSU Tigers botched the hire of Tom Herman in 2017 and rushed Ed Orgeron to the podium. It didn't work out.
It wasn't as big of a debacle as it was in 2017. But what I will say, it pretty much happened again in 2021 because you had Lincoln Riley pretty much set, and then you had to go and get BK in quick order.
Right, because we were having that y'all were telling me, because you were following all the information lines. Oh, it's Lincoln, it's Lincoln,
Yep.
It's Lincoln. And I'll never forget Zach going up on the stairwell saying, "It's Brian Kelly." And I was like,
What?
What the heck?
What?
This is garbage. And
Out of nowhere.
I said to Zach, when he was standing above me, I was sitting in my recliner, I said, if that's the case, that's garbage. And you remember that, Zach.
Yeah, I do.
And the truth is, athletic directors play a role in this.
Oh, I agree, 1,000%, Reagan.
He's the boss.
But and just to say, to kind of play the devil's advocate for Ole Miss sake. I mean, we got Ole Miss friends, Ole Miss family members. There are two sides to this.
Yes.
Kiffin has made mistakes.
Yes.
I'm a public speaker. When you get in front of a crowd and you're making statements about certain things, you're going to botch something.
Yep.
Especially if you're talking off the cuff, i.e. the Louisiana governor 3 weeks ago or whenever
Yes.
it was.
Yes.
Yep.
But Kiffin, I think, messed up because a lot of his players are calling him out, like Bryson Sanders. I think he's one of the linemen on Ole Miss. When Kiffin said, the players wanted him to stay, and everybody in that room wanted him to stay. And Bryson Sanders tweeted out on X. He said, I don't think that Kiffin had that right, that everybody in that room wanted him to stay.
Sure.
He said, in fact, he said, and I pulled it up, I think everyone that was in that room would disagree with Kiffin's statement.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying that some didn't want, wanted him to stay.
Yeah.
Some didn't. He's saying it just wasn't what Kiffin was saying.
The problem is speaking in absolutes. When you begin to speak in absolutes is when you get yourself in trouble.
Right.
And so Kiffin made a mistake speaking in absolutes, and then
everybody,
Sanders made a mistake speaking in absolutes, saying the same thing.
Right.
I mean, Terran Perkins came out and said something as well. So regardless of what you think, there's always gonna be two sides to the coin. You're gonna have Ole Miss fans. You're gonna have the Ole Miss fans who hate the situation, LSU fans who love the situation. You're gonna have Ole Miss players who are still going to support and back Lane Kiffin no matter what. And then you're going to have Ole Miss players that say, well, you know what? Forget you. We're moving on.
That's right.
And we've seen LSU players flip to Ole Miss today.
Yeah.
We've seen Ole Miss players flip to LSU. And I wonder, like the 4-star wide receiver, what's his name? That decommitted from LSU.
Kenny Darby.
Okay. Kenny Darby, I read something earlier. I haven't verified it. So let me run that disclaimer. Someone said on a Facebook that I follow, on a Facebook page that I follow, it may have even been Tiger Bait, comments under Tiger Bait posts, that he knew he wasn't going to fit Kiffin's mentality, Kiffin's philosophy.
Sure.
So he went ahead and got out. You know, that's probably true. And I mean, maybe Brian Kelly solidified that commitment, and maybe he has no emotional connection to LSU now. I don't know who solidified that commitment, but it's going to happen both ways. I've seen old people put out, this guy, he's coming here where the real coach is at, And
the same is true the other way.
Same is true the other way with what's the guy? Oh gosh, is it Hayes
Fawcett?
Hayes something. I knew it was Hayes.
Yep.
He's flipped from Ole Miss to LSU today. So, and according to Rivals, the dude Jace Matthews is kind of back in the back in play when formerly he was an Auburn commit. Now LSU's pushing hard for him. So
Corey Barber, one of the Ole Miss 4-star receivers, decommitted, now predicted to be at LSU. Braden Allen, 4-star Louisiana receiver.
He committed to Oklahoma.
Decommitted from Oklahoma, committed to LSU now. That's neither here nor there. Like, I mean, it's going to play out. It'll all play out. But I mean, look, I hated the way it drug out. I'm glad he's here, but the truth of the matter is, I mean, either side will see it the way they want to see it.
Of course, they've got to validate what happened in their own minds.
Sure, but I have to say to Ole Miss fans, you've got to consider everything. You can't live in a tunnel vision and say it's all Kiffin and nothing else, and that's just not true. It's just not true.
Yeah, like the stuff floating out there that Kiffin was, virtually. It was almost they act like they had to handcuff him and he was belligerent. Get out of the building.
Yeah.
Did they say, "Hey, it's over. It's time for you to pack your stuff and go"? Sure, we did that to Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there was some heated exchange.
No.
Between them and Kiffin.
The reports that came out. Yeah. The reports that came out about Brian Kelly and Scott Woodward, they said that, the original reports were like it was a blow up. It was massive blow up. Well, now everybody's come to find out and confirm it was actually like a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah,
and
it's
they
been
were
back
like,
and
we
forth as
understand.
to what it was, and now it was just, okay. It was like, all right, I'm out, you out, yeah, I'm out.
And then Sunday, they're like, Kiffin said, offensive staff, you're either on the plane or you're out of here. Not true.
And now he's sending his offensive coordinator back to Ole Miss to coach him.
He's sending the OC to go help Ole Miss through the playoff run. That's where I want to go next. Again, we could talk about the spectacle of the whole thing all day long, but there's another talking point that everyone wants to discuss. Zach, you lead it off, and then Dad, you can give your thoughts. What are your opinions on him coaching the playoffs? Do you think he should have been allowed to? Do you think it would have made this process smoother if they let him? Or do you think, oh, heck no, he's going somewhere else. You can't let him do that. What's your thoughts on him coaching the playoffs?
Well, there's two sides to it for me. Okay. So there's one side where I'm trying to understand Kiffin as just a man. And then there's the other side where I'm thinking of it in LSU purple and gold lenses. Okay. If I'm thinking of it just as, looking at Kiffin as a man, obviously you want him to be able to finish what he started with that team. He's worked his tail off. He's been there 6 years. He's brought Ole Miss to what it is today. Yep. And you want him to have that opportunity to finish what he started with this team and have the chance to go get a championship. Because guess what? I mean, Reagan and Dad, what happens if Ole Miss goes and wins the whole thing? Does Kiffin get a ring? Yeah. I mean, he coached them. He coached them basically the entire season. Does he get a ring?
Nope.
For assembling that staff, for assembling that team together? Does he get that ring?
He should, but he's not going to.
Exactly. So, like, in one aspect, I think he deserves to have that opportunity to go and do that. But then on the flip side of that is, if I'm wearing my purple and gold glasses, I don't want him to go win a national championship for Ole Miss.
Right.
I don't, I don't, because it's only going to benefit them. Right? Yeah. I mean, regardless if he's coming to Ole Miss or not, or I mean, if he's, regardless even if he's coming to LSU, I mean, Ole Miss is going to benefit from having a national championship, even if he's gone. They're going to benefit from that.
You probably would stay if you won a national championship too.
Yeah, and all the emotion that goes into that. What if he goes and they win it, and then he's like, you know what, I'm not going to, because who's to say that if he was given the opportunity to go coach the national championship, he doesn't wait to sign that contract with LSU till afterwards.
Right?
Is he signing it beforehand or afterwards?
It would have to be beforehand. From the LSU side.
From the LSU side, you would absolutely want him to have to sign it beforehand. You'd have to absolutely. You would almost have to force that issue. But here's the thing: LSU wasn't forcing anything. They weren't forcing anything. They were very cool, calm, collected. Sit back, relax, wait. If you want to coach the playoffs, go ahead. Right. So that was their stance. So from a purple and gold lens, as a fan, I don't want him to go coach because if he hasn't signed. If he hasn't signed the contract and he goes and wins a national championship, it benefits Ole Miss, but also potentially it could lead to him making an emotional decision to stay whenever we want him at LSU. From the Ole Miss perspective, there's two perspectives on the Ole Miss side. Okay, now let me share both of those. There's the Ole Miss fan side, and then there's the Ole Miss administration side. Okay, the administration side, I don't want him coaching, and I understand that. That's why they did what they did. Why? Because he's going to be recruiting. He's going to be taking staff, all that, and you want that guy currently on your team while he's actively working for or going to be working for another team, right? Yeah. I completely understand why they decided, hey, we need to move on. from a fan perspective, if I'm an Ole Miss fan, I want him to coach. I want him to coach the playoffs because he's my best bet. He's my best bet. You mean you want an interim coach who doesn't have any head coaching experience to now be my head coach at the biggest moment of the season, at the most critical time of the season? You want an interim coach that has zero head coaching experience. Regardless of if you think he's awesome, like yep. I've thrown my flowers to Pete Golding. I think Pete Golding is a great defensive coordinator. I think he's a great coach. In that moment, do I want an interim head coach who has zero head coaching experience coaching my team in the playoffs? No. I want the guy who has led me for the last 6 years, who has brought me to this point, who has put this team together, put this staff together. He is the foundation. He is the foundation of this team, regardless of what you want to think. He's the foundation of this team. I want him to coach. Because if I want to win a national championship, that's the goal every year, right? Reagan, you've said it multiple times in multiple group messages, and I'm sure you can reiterate that here in a second.
Yes.
What's the goal every year for every team? It's to go win a national championship. Whether you're in D2, D1, whatever it is, go win a national championship. Now, obviously, there's realistic expectations that come with that, but the goal of every team every year should be, let's go win the championship, right? So, if I'm talking about just this year as an Ole Miss fan, my best option is to have Lane Kiffin coach us through the playoffs. So as an Ole Miss fan, I should want him to coach through the playoffs. But unfortunately, because of the hate that is going on, they don't really understand that concept. They don't really understand that clearly would be the best option for them to go win a national championship. I'm not saying that they can't win a national championship now with Pete Golding, because obviously there's a lot of emotion that comes into this. There's going to be a lot of, the players are going to want to play up. Hey, he left us. Let's show everybody that we can do this without him. Like, there's going to be a lot of emotion that goes into that. I think the fan base is going to be very, energized behind them, right? Especially if they get a home playoff game. Yep. So I'm not saying they can't go win a national championship, but the best position to get me to a national championship and win a national championship is having Lane Kiffin coach the team. So there's all those different perspectives, Reagan and Dad. But I don't know what's right, what's wrong. I think Ole Miss made the right decision. I think they made the right decision ultimately. But I understand Kiffin wanting to go and coach the playoffs. But if I'm Ole Miss, I understand not letting him coach.
Yeah. Dad?
Well, I kind of already answered this earlier when I said, hey, 8 days ago, 10 days ago, all of that should have been hashed out. The decision should have been made. If Keith Carter did not want him ultimately to go the length, he should have been a man and said, we're not doing it.
That's right.
So I lay this whole thing on him. He's the boss.
Yep.
Number two, from an LSU perspective, I don't want Lane Kiffin not pursuing every commitment on signing day. And, as a person who has 3 different jobs and every one of those jobs requires a lot of interaction and communication nonstop almost, keeping up with those who are on the bubble and, talking with them, texting them, doing everything you got to do to reel that big bass, that trophy bass in. Yeah. It takes time and effort. You can't go, you don't have the time to go game plan for an SEC championship. You don't have time to game plan for a playoff. So for me, I think it should have been decided 10 days ago. It should have already been gone. I think you got to accept providentially the circumstances, the setting, the setting of college playoffs and signing day and all of that as it is right now. I think the uppity mucks and the powers that be will change this.
Oh, yeah, they will.
If they don't, they're fools.
Absolutely.
So, and you look at the current bracket, I'm not sure. It looks to me like Ole Miss is hosting in the current bracket.
Yeah, as of this week. Yeah.
Well, they got rewarded for their game against Mississippi State, whereas Alabama got penalized for their lackluster win. It looks like from didn't they drop down to 9 or 8 or whatever it was?
I can't remember.
It looks like Oklahoma with this bracket is hosting Bama. That's what it looks like. So if I'm correct, but
yeah, because they're probably the 9 and 8.
Yeah, they're 9 and 8.
Yeah,
so,
Oklahoma
and it looks like Oklahoma's hosting. So I'm just like, you got to roll. You got to get on a train and go to Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And instead of if he would have done that, and Keith Carter would have made, if the two men would have made good decisions, he'd have been in Baton Rouge seven days ago.
Yeah.
So
no, there's no doubt. As an LSU fan, briefly, obviously, I'm thrilled he's not coaching the playoffs for Ole Miss, because as an LSU fan, and I don't mean this in any ugly way, but I don't want Ole Miss winning a championship. I don't want them even getting close. They're our rival. I don't want them close to a championship. In fact, it drives me crazy that they're in the playoffs and we're not. But it also thrills me that we have the coach that took them to the playoffs now. So as an LSU fan, I'm thrilled about that. But here's my, as Zach said, they're like, oh, we don't want him coaching our team. We could care less. Go on, whatever. While I understand that sentiment, I also look at the history of Ole Miss football, and I say we have never even sniffed an opportunity like this in decades. We have not been in the championship conversation in 60 years. If I am an Ole Miss fan,
65,
right? Whatever it is, it's been a long time since before Dad was born. It's been a long time since Ole Miss
1960
was sniffing this, and here they are, a top 6 team hosting a playoff. I could, if I am an Ole Miss fan, if he's leaving or not, the goal is to win championships. And the benefit of winning a championship is massive for a program. LSU was hot, flaming garbage for years. And then along comes this guy named Nick Saban, and he starts winning games and wins a championship in 2003. By the way, before then, it was about the same distance of time between championships as it is now for Ole Miss, right? It was back when Billy Cannon. That was the last time we won a championship until 2003. Right, Dad? How bad was LSU in the 90s? Right. How bad were they?
Oh, they were atrocious.
Horrible.
Awful.
Horrible. LSU wins one national championship in 2003, and the program has changed forever because of it.
And that's why LSU became a baseball team, because in the 90s you're winning,
exactly. They're winning all the championships in baseball,
and everybody's snoozing through LSU.
Exactly.
Football.
Nobody could give could care less about like a flying fladoodle about the football season because LSU's winning baseball championships. But in comes Nick Saban and resurrects LSU's football program. And since then, LSU has been one of the premier programs in college football. Why?
Yeah.
Because they won one national championship, and it pumped energy into the program. It pumped people into the program wanting to fund the program.
It was magnetic.
And then it happened again in 2007. And then you got to the championship again in 2011. And then you have the greatest single season in college football history in 2019. Like, LSU is a premier program because you won your first championship in decades. The impact that one national championship can have on your program is incredible. So if I am an Ole Miss fan and I'm going, we have not sniffed a championship in 60 years, I don't care if Lane Kiffin is leaving tomorrow. Please come coach our team and lead us to the national championship. You can leave when you're gone because, as Zach said, at the end of the day, what are we playing for? We're playing to win a championship. And if we can win a championship while you're headed out the door, I don't care. We will. Whose name is on the championship trophy for the 2003 LSU Tigers? It's LSU. It's not Nick Saban. Nick Saban coached them, but he ain't still there. In fact, he wasn't still there for 5 more years. He was only there for 4 more years. And so, like, Nick Saban won a championship and left LSU, but LSU's forever changed because he did that.
Right.
If Nick Saban, or excuse me, Lane Kiffin leads Ole Miss to a championship and leaves, Ole Miss is forever changed. And one day you would look back at it and go, holy cow, we are what we are today because of Lane Kiffin. And the truth of the matter is, for LSU fans, as much as we hated Lane Kiffin kicking us in the teeth for 12 years or however long it was at Alabama.
You mean Nick Saban?
Nick Saban, excuse me. For so many years getting destroyed by Alabama and Nick Saban, the truth of the matter is LSU fans have to look back and go, we have what we have today because of Nick Saban. This program was picked up from the ashes because of Nick Saban. So in my opinion, as an Ole Miss fan, you got to set your hatred aside and go, please win us a national championship. But they're not going to do that.
No,
that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. If Lane Kiffin, and I'm telling you, it could be a possibility. If Lane Kiffin is coaching LSU in 4 years, and he has us on the cusp of making a championship, and Kalen DeBoer has been fired from Alabama, and all the rumor mills are swirling that Lane Kiffin is probably headed to Alabama, I am going to be begging LSU to let him coach until the season is over. He can leave when it's over. I don't care if he leaves when it's over.
Changed by then. Hopefully all this has changed by then.
And that's right. And so maybe we won't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, even if he is leaving when it is over, I want him to coach us through the championship because that is what I want. I want champions. I want LSU to win. I want LSU to win championships because if you win championships, it draws better coaches to your program. If Lane Kiffin leaves, LSU's a national championship program. Yet again, there's going to be another great coach that wants to come coach at LSU. Okay? So, Ole Miss fans, you have to, see that. Again, I mean, the ship has sailed. He's in Baton Rouge, right? It's over. He's not coaching the playoffs. He's not coaching the national championship. They're not going to make the national championship. But beforehand, they should have seen this and been like, man, this is an opportunity. We need to let him coach it. And if I'm Keith Carter, I'm doing the same thing. If I'm Keith Carter, you know how much funds will come into Ole Miss because Ole Miss won a national championship in football? You know what I mean? You know how much funds will come in? Come on, dude. That's just my opinion. A national championship has millions of dollars of impact on your program.
Oh,
millions.
No doubt.
So I know that was long, but that's my spiel. Championships produces better things for your program and better coaches that want to come coach you. You want to know why Lane Kiffin wants to come coach LSU? Because LSU has won 3 national championships with 3 different coaches in this century.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why Lane Kiffin is here.
In this last 2 decades? Almost a little bit longer than 2 decades.
LSU's been to 4 national championships since 2003 and won 3 of them. And that is why Lane Kiffin is standing in Baton Rouge today. That is why.
It was so close on another possible championship berth.
Exactly.
I mean, so close. But
yes.
I got a question for y'all.
Shoot.
What quarterback what quarterback, excuse me.
Oh boy.
A D1 football do you want to hit the transfer portal and come play for Lane Kiffin? Who is that guy?
Zach, you take it. You take it first.
Right off the top, just right off the top of the dome, DJ Lagway.
I thought about him today.
DJ Lagway has got a lot of talent.
I
How crazy would that be? Threw 5 interceptions against us, and then turn around and win a national.
But you got Lane, and Lane's been so good developing quarterbacks. I mean, Jackson Dar's playing for the New York Giants. Trinidad Chambliss, who, I mean, let's be honest, us as LSU fans, we're going, Trinidad Chambliss, we should destroy this team because who is this D2 quarterback
That's right.
He tore you up. He tore you up. Ran all over you. Threw all over you. Why? Because Lane developed him. Lane developed him. I mean, obviously, there's other coaches involved, but Lane has had a knack for being able to get good quarterbacks into his system, and they thrive. Matt Corral, think about the progression that Matt Corral made.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Corral was not good his first couple of years at Ole Miss, and really progressed as he got older in his junior and senior year. Right?
Jackson Dart was garbage at USC. Garbage at USC.
Exactly.
And how salty we would have Florida being salty at us and Ole Miss.
Yeah, how great would that be? That you already Florida's already mad that you lost that battle, but for Lane Kiffin, how much more mad of that at you would they be whenever you go take their prized quarterback? I don't know. DJ Lagway off the top of my head. I know Sam. Is it Sam Levitt over at Arizona State had plans to enter the transfer portal. He was been really good this past year. So I think that's but you've also seen, look, don't knock it. You had Trinidad Chambliss that came from D2 and he was really good. You've had a lot of D2 quarterbacks that have entered the transfer portal here recently. Which by the way, so today they announced forgive me, what's Reagan's last name? Dan, the quarterback coach.
Stevens.
Dane Stevens. Okay, he's gonna be your new quarterbacks coach. Okay, he was in Ole Miss this past year. Guess where he was the year before?
Where was that?
West Florida. Okay, guess who's star quarterback who has been really, really good in D2 entered the transfer portal today?
Who's that?
West Florida's quarterback. So you also had Old Dominion, which let me go ahead and pull that up so y'all can get familiar with the name. So the quarterback coach gets announced today for LSU.
Yes.
It was Dan Stevens, who coached at West Florida last year, was the offensive coordinator for this quarterback last year, and he enters the transfer portal today. So just
something to keep an eye on.
Something to keep an eye on, okay? I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's just interesting, interesting, okay? You also had Old Dominion's quarterback enter the transfer portal. He's had a really good year. Marcus Stokes, West Florida quarterback Marcus Stokes. He was previously a 4-star quarterback out of high school that was committed to Florida.
Wow.
Yes. So, I'm finding stuff out about this. He had over 3,600 yards passing this year and 40 touchdowns.
Yep.
And he is also a finalist for the Harlan Hill Award, which is basically the Heisman of D2. So talented kid.
Yep.
So it's a little bit ironic that got announced today. But you've had other guys that have entered the transfer portal. But just off the top of my head, I know it's a long answer, but DJ Lagway is just the first one off the top of my head.
I think the obvious choice is if Trinidad Chambliss is given another year.
Yeah.
I think I would take him in a heartbeat. But if he's not granted another year, there's a couple guys that I think would hit the portal that I would want to consider. One of them, yes, is DJ Lagway. If he hits the portal, certainly, I would take him in a heartbeat. But I'm not going to pronounce his name. His first name is Jaron, but it's one of these Samoan names. Everybody calls him JKS. He's Cal's quarterback. He is a true freshman. He started all games for them this year as a true freshman. 3,100 yards passing, 17 touchdowns as a true freshman. Cal's coach was just fired. So wouldn't be surprised if JKS entered the transfer portal. I'd love to have him. CJ Bailey. Hey, look, there you go. CJ Bailey, Tyler Townsend. That's another one I mentioned to you guys the other day. NC State's quarterback. Here's why I would be interested in CJ Bailey. C.J. Bailey would literally be Jaden Daniel 2.0. Same build, same skill sets. He's 6'6", real tall and lanky and skinny, 210, 6'6", 210. He's a dual threat. He passed for 2,800 yards this year, threw for 23. But here's the kicker. Not only did he throw for 2,800 and throw 23 touchdowns, he also rushed for 370 yards and 5 touchdowns. Or excuse me, he rushed for 215 yards and 5 touchdowns on top of 2,800 yards passing and 23 touchdowns. So the dual threat quarterback, I'm all in on, especially because
absolutely,
Jaden Daniels. Go look at, if you get the chance, look up C.J. Bailey. He literally is 2.0 Jaden Daniels. He even looks like
Jaden Daniels. If we'd have just had a cotton picking defense.
2023, man. 2023, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, C.J. Bailey, JKS, and then, of course, Sam Levitt is rumored to possibly hit in the portal as well. Sam Levitt would be.
Well, I figured
awesome.
I wanted to ask y'all that. That was one of the big things I wanted to ask y'all. I have 2 other things, but the show's already gone too long.
Well, it's fine. See, the truth is, your starting quarterback next year is not on the roster. He's not on the roster. So that's to be determined. That's to be determined. Well, what's a
little bit further down?
Dad, we've got time for it.
Oh, what's my 2 other questions?
And we'll answer them quickly.
Yeah. Y'all got to answer quickly. Does Nuss get drafted, and will Whit Weeks now be able to stay or want to stay because Lane Kiffin is here?
Yes, Nuss gets drafted, and yes, Whit Weeks stays.
I would say so. There's your very short answer. I would say Nussmeier is probably a 3rd, 4th round pick now. Whit Weeks is definitely coming back. Definitely. He was literally at Lane Kiffin's press conference sitting next to his daughter on Monday. Whit Weeks is coming back 100%. He's dealt with injury this year, Dad, and so his draft stock, probably took a little hit.
It's low, but everybody knows there's enough footage on him out there for somebody to
yeah. If he enters the draft, he would be drafted. But how high does he want to be drafted? I think.
Okay, you got to answer this real quick.
Yes.
What players would you absolutely not want to see hit the portal?
Absolutely not hit the portal.
Not. You do not want
DJ Pickett.
DJ Pickett, absolutely.
Harlan Berry.
Yep.
Tradez Green.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
PJ Woodland.
Yep.
There's probably some more.
Devon Keys.
Yeah. I mean, Whit Weeks. He's not, but
no, none of the Weeks brothers are gone.
No.
There's no way.
Yeah,
no.
You'll have Zach
Pickett and Harlan Berry are by far number one, and Tradez Green. Those
Tradez Green, Harlan Berry, DJ
you gotta
Pickett.
keep those.
You're the young guys. You got.
Here's the good news. Here's the good news. Corey Raymond's probably going to stay on this staff. That means DJ Pickett's not going anywhere.
Yep.
DJ Pickett's not going anywhere.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction, and then I'll let y'all get to your comments. I'm gonna say. On Heisman, I'm going to say that Diego Pavia wins it.
Okay.
They're pitching it. They're trying to. There's not really a good Heisman this year. There's really not a great Heisman.
Not a runaway. There's not a runaway.
He's going to win it on a close ballot between him and the Indiana dude.
Fernando.
Whatever his name is. I'll tell you who I want to see hit the portal. I ask you who you don't.
Weston Davis.
I'll tell you who I want to see hit the portal. Y'all gonna be like, what? I'm good with our field goal kicker hitting the portal.
Well, he's out of eligibility.
Is he? Okay. Well, then I'm speaking ignorantly. But I'm like, there was just some times he could have hit, and he shouldn't have. And
He doesn't have a big leg. He does not have a big leg.
I will close with this statement. Dear Santa, please give us the best team in the land.
Thank you, Santa.
Thank you.
Santa. Thank you, LSU Santa.
You have given us Kiffin. That he's right here on the list.
See, Dad, look in my picture in the background. I showed Zach. Santa delivered the Lane train to me. You see? Yes. Dad, appreciate you coming in as always. Appreciate you coming in and your input as always.
Well, all I gotta say is, go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
He's channeling his inner Ed.
Chugga, 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 chugga. The Lane train is coming into town.
See you,
Speaking of, I should go ahead and should I go ahead and show him, Reagan?
You talking to me?
No, I'm talking to both of y'all, I guess. Should I go ahead and show him? Right, Reagan knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Show it. Yeah, show it. Absolutely.
All right. Let me see if I can get it pulled up real quick.
Well, I have to put my glasses
on. Might as
on.
well.
You're a little bitty thing on my screen.
Let me see if I can go ahead and get it pulled up.
How do y'all see this mess? I mean, God, this is not made for old people.
Let me see if I can get it pulled up here. Y'all keep talking while I'm getting it pulled up.
Well, come on. You should have had it pulled up.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Reagan, here's your one-liner real quick.
Yep.
Which biggest decommit hurt us today?
Kenny Darby.
Kenny Darby, but you've already replaced him with another 4-star receiver. So, yeah.
Did Kiffin, when he walked into the room, look at the offensive line and say, you're gone?
Possibly. Listen,
I don't know who you people are, but I really don't want to get to know.
Yeah. Listen, Brad Davis is certainly gone. He's gone for sure. Yeah. Your O-line coach, he's gone. Here's what I will say. We already kind of talked about it a little bit. There's gonna be lots of flips and decommitments and all that. I am not worried about this roster one iota, not one bit. You're going to have to hit the portal, and Lane Kiffin is known for dominating.
You got to go find a quarterback.
Yeah,
Lane Kiffin, all right, boys, I finally got it.
So I'm not worried about the roster.
Let me put my glasses on to see this. Whatever he's doing. Let me see.
All right, pull it up.
I finally got it now.
The Lane train.
Hitting Tigers Avenue merch store tonight. It will be hitting Tigers Avenue merch store tonight.
Yes.
The Lane train
is here.
T-shirt. TigersAvenue.com. You can go to TigersAvenue.com, go to merch, click on merch, and you will find it under specialty designs. It will hit.
We may have to
the store tonight.
Zach, we may have to get
Dad that.
A Lane train T-shirt and a visor, an LSU visor.
Well, I got a visor. I've got a visor with Joe Burrow's signature on the side.
Ah.
Yeah, I already got that.
Oh, yeah. So you got the Lane Kiffin visor already.
I got the Lane Kiffin visor with the Joey B signature.
Hey,
on the side.
Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that.
Nice. If y'all ever let me grace you with my presence again, see, my brother Arthur gave me this, so next time I will come on with the Lane train shirt and
the visor. Yes,
the visor. I will personally go buy a humble promise tonight. I will go buy one of those T-shirts.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Lane train is here.
Hallelujah. Yeah. Well, your younger brother is not on this podcast, but I will say that tonight your younger brother. Sorry. Wait. Yeah. There we go. Your younger brother made your mom and I proud.
So proud of little Simon.
He sang the stars down from heaven with his Christmas concert tonight.
Awesome. Proud of you, Simon. Proud of you as always.
That's good.
Appreciate you, Dad.
God bless and go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers. See you later, Father.
Bye.
Bye. The Godfather.
The Godfather.
Hilarious as always. Hilarious as always. Zach,
that
let's
was
get
pretty
to some
funny.
comments.
Had the train out there. That was funny.
Well,
All right, so Ryan is in here, obviously with a brand new handle. Big Train Kiffin.
Train Kiffin.
What's up, passing ship? It sure feels good to be a
It's a
tiger.
great day to be a tiger, brother. It's a great day.
You must walk through the shadows of darkness and fear no evil.
Yes. Hey, it is time.
Through the darkness of the tunnel, there's a light at the end, even if it is a light from the Lane train. He said here that the 14 was UCLA. Huh.
That's yeah. He's a California boy, so maybe so.
Maybe so. Yep. My opinion is he shouldn't have coached the Egg Bowl too. Yeah.
Okay.
TT's in here. Glad to have TT in here.
Yep.
Let's see. CJ Bailey. Yep.
Yes. CJ Bailey would be awesome.
Ryan says he'd rather JKS.
I'd be
got
good
more
with
years of
JKS.
eligibility.
Yes.
Yep.
CJ Bailey is only a sophomore though, so he can cover you for a while. So, but true, JKS is just a freshman. So, yeah. All right, Zach. Quick thing, real quick, on the hoops. Both the men and women played in one of those classics just the past few days. This last weekend, Zach, the men did a fantastic job in the Emerald Coast Classic, beating Drake and then absolutely dominating DePaul in the championship. I mean, dominated them.
Yeah, it really surprised me, honestly, Reagan.
Yes.
Because Drake played him really close, and Drake's a good team. And DePaul's been a tournament team in the past too.
Yep.
But yeah, LSU. I mean, I thought it'd be a close game for the championship. Yeah,
96-63.
It's really good.
LSU men's basketball has scored at least 90 points in every game except for the game against Drake. It's pretty stinking good. I'm pretty sure they still lead the country in points per game. So, hey, again, I'm going to throw the caveat out there. They're looking good, but they did this last year. They went 11-2 in the non-conference, and then conference play hit, and it all went downhill. So, still reserving judgment for now. Wednesday, though, tomorrow, they play Boston College at Boston. So, for the ACC, SEC Challenge, well, that'll be a good start. And then the next game, it's a big one, Zach. 2 o'clock Sunday against number 19, Texas Tech. Big one. So, you're really going to be tested these next two games. Maybe.
I mean, and the girls got what is it? What's today? So Thursday they're playing Duke.
Big time. And they ain't scored under 100 points yet.
Yeah.
They're dominating everybody. I mean, everybody. They may be on the run again, Zach.
We got a ton of viewers in here with us. We appreciate y'all joining us. Obviously,
Yes.
The big news, Lane Kiffin, the Kiffin Express. Reagan, I made that, fun, whatever you want to call it, last week.
Yes.
And, I talked about whether it would end in disaster and turmoil. It was able to perfectly arrive at its destination. It was a little chaotic. I ain't gonna lie, Reagan. But it
just like the Polar Express.
It was able to perfectly arrive. Yep. It was able to perfectly arrive at its destination, Baton Rouge. And so I've enjoyed it, Reagan. I need some hot cocoa. Give me some hot cocoa.
We're here. Let's sip our hot cocoa and enjoy the Kiffin Express.
I love your picture in the background too, looking great.
Yes. Lane train. Hey, look, it was a mess, and it was hard, and it drug out for a while, but it was all worth it. I think it was all worth it. It's going to be awesome. This is going to be an awesome era. And last little comment there. Yes, man, this is heartbreaking, Zach. Carl. Yes, I was about to say this. Man, my heart is broken for Jalen Reed. Tore his Achilles the other night. Had no idea, by the way. Like there was never a sign of him being injured, and then he came out the next game in crutches and in street clothes, and everybody was like, "What the heck happened?"
Yeah.
Well, he's out for the season with a torn Achilles. My My heart goes out for Jalen. He fought all the way back from a torn ACL last year, early in the season, tore his ACL. And here we are again in the 6th game of the season, and he tears his Achilles. I mean, I'm heartbroken for him, really. So best of luck and blessings to Jalen, and hope he recovers quickly.
I'm assuming hopefully he can get a medical red shirt or something.
I don't know. Maybe so. He'd been here a long time. We'll see.
Yeah.
That would be his 6th year with LSU if he comes back. So, but man, wow. Jalen Reed, I'm so sorry, man. Heart's broken for you. Hope the best for you, buddy. And hopefully the Tigers keep winning for you. And so, anyways, Zach. Wow. What a week.
It's been a crazy ride.
But hey, we're here. LSU now has their new head coach. The new era has begun. Signing days tomorrow. You've already been seeing it today. It's been going absolutely nuts. And I'm sure it will be nuts for the next few days as well. I will say this, Zach, to end the show. There's going to be commits that you lose that you don't really want to lose. There's a new coach in town, and he's known for getting great talent and doing a whole lot with less than he's had in the past. So don't fret. Don't freak out. You have Lane Kiffin. If you lose some recruits in this whole process, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
The portal will come. This roster will come together, and we will roll. There's going to be some casualties along the way, so just don't freak out. All right? All right. Signing days tomorrow. We'll see how it all plays out. And next time here in the Tigers Avenue, we'll discuss everything that transpires with signing day and all the things with hoops upcoming, staff changes, all of those things as it all unfolds, because a lot of that will be happening this week between now and our next show. So appreciate you guys as always. Stay tuned for next week's show. We'll see you next time here in the Tigers Avenue. Bye, here, takes out. Peace.
Who that five star?